Okay, this is the update on those 13 stocks that are good quality companies, but they are down at least 30% from their highs. Many much more than that. So we'll start with ServiceNow, and I'll focus on the weekly chart. I'll try to put an update out each week, and we'll kind of focus on the weekly chart, and that you can see they're in different places. So again, reminder: ServiceNow hasn't broken below last year's low yet. That's at 448. I'd say it looks like it's headed there right now, given this reversal. So this is about to be a swing high on the daily chart. And more importantly, on the weekly chart, we made a new low last week. This was an inside week that went red. So it would seem to me like we're just about to make another new weekly low. So we're making that move down to 448. So this was your high of that weekly cycle, I would say. And on the monthly, it's all the same. Like the general direction of direction of the general market, I think everything is going lower. You shouldn't be looking for signs to buy. If anything, if you're aggressive, you should be looking for chances to short. If you don't want to short, I say just stay out of the way. There's no reason to try to find something to buy in this environment. This workday, new low on the weekly this week, right? So slightly different position, whereas ServiceNow was an inside week. So I'd say this is even weaker. Amazon, this looks like it's on its path to 1654, right? This is a gap down month. Pretty nasty stuff. Intuitive Surgical, new low on the weekly. We're just in weekly cycle free fall. Domino's, inside week. You would imagine it's going to break. I mean, look at this. This is a classic bear flag right here on the daily. I mean, some of these, I guess you could say, are ripe for shorts, like Starbucks. Look at this. This is a short signal, right? We have a swing high below this low here. That's interesting. Okay, and on the weekly, very important to note here. This weekly was really bullish at one point, right? It was nice, beautiful, big green candle. And then look at it now. Now, we could always recover a little bit today. I mean, it doesn't look like we're set up for based on what the pre-open. So this was a new low for the weekly, and this is week 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. So this is interesting. Starbucks might, you could see a world where Starbucks bottoms before the rest of the market does. I mean, it's right. Its low for the COVID crash was $50. I mean, might flirt with that. Intuit, new low on the weekly. That looks like it's headed to 366. Adobe, wow. I mean, it seems wild, but a move down to 258 wouldn't be crazy. We're already below last year's low, so we have a yearly swing high on the board. CRM, short signal, daily swing high. So I'd say at this point, a lot of these are actually ready for their next leg down. So if you're aggressive, this is actually the time to short. Autodesk. So this if you're thinking about cycles, this was probably a daily cycle low. So this is day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're getting a daily cycle top on day 6. I know someone had asked about Autodesk specifically in the comments. So I'd say this is probably ready for its next leg down. So your target would be below 180. So that's a nice, still 17 points lower based on where it's set to open right now. And again, this is just following the general direction of the market. That said, this is still a green month, which is very much not the case for the broader market and most of these stocks. So this is holding up relatively well, but we still do have this massive yearly swing high. I do think this possibly has a date with 126, which would be the low from 2020, essentially your COVID low. I mean, look at this pattern. So if anything, I'm actually inclined to look at what the bid ask is for some puts, and I would, if I'm thinking about if you think about how to use potential cycles to your advantage. So this is important. We did make we do have a weekly swing low here, right? It's still active above 198, right? Yet at the same time, or thereabouts. Yet at the same time on the daily, below 195.61 is a daily swing high. So you have to kind of think about the cross currents, how the daily and the weekly kind of intersect. Given the overall direction of the market, it's more likely that this gets pulled down, and also the fact that it's sitting on a yearly swing high as well. There's massive selling pressure here. So I say it's time to look for puts here. Same idea here. Vive, look at this. This is a swing high setting up. Once we go below this low here, which I'm guessing we're going to open below, given the general direction of the market, right? Once we go below that low, we have this becomes your swing high. And I mean, look at this. This is like a little bear flag. We had this descent, bear flag, and then lower. So you're looking for a low below, what is that, 166. So still, I mean, because remember, the broader market is in week 10 of the weekly cycle, and the weekly cycle decline has already begun, right? We're already like 5 or 6 weeks into it. And so we have potentially another 10 weeks to fall. Facebook is actually sitting on a weekly swing low. Again, not to sound like a broken record, but I don't expect it to hold. And important to note, it just printed a daily swing high. So this looks to be a daily cycle low. So that's day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's important to think about, right? Some things are topping out on day 5 of their daily cycle. The S&P can't even get off the mat. It could barely rally for like two or three green days in a row. That's telling you the market is incredibly weak. And even though these are high quality stocks, they're just not ready now. And so you need to be more patient. Or if you're ready to be aggressive, there are short opportunities here. Though at the same time, you probably are better off shorting something that is more of a garbage stock than one of these, to be fair. Looking at AMD, look at this. We had a nice, wow, this was a nice bullish week at one point. I mean, technically it still kind of sort of is, right? It's still mostly green. You just have this upper wick. So next week you're going to open an inside week, given the structure. I mean, it's like, or the high odds, unless we somehow break above the high on this wick, or we break below this low. I think that's unlikely. So next week we open up somewhere around here. So this is interesting. But again, why would you be looking for the long side when the broader market is about to fall for 10 weeks, right? This looks like it has a date with the 71 area. So that's the recap.